you want to get out of a rut, right? A lot of you guys you're in a rut, you're stuck, you feel like you need to take a break, you feel like you need to take a step back because you're burning out. That you always hear this old burnout. You need to take a step back. The best way to deal with the rut is to step back and regroup, right? But what if I'm going to tell you something that's very contrary to what you've been told before, right? People are going to tell you to take a step back like Harden, you know what I mean? And take a break from whatever situation it is, whether it's in your business, you feel like you're not making progress. Maybe it's your fitness journey, you feel like you're not making progress, you're burnt out. School, whatever the case may be, you feel like, you're on an incline, now you're on a decline, you're in a rut, you feel like you're steady, you're stagnant. What I feel like the best way to overcome a rut, and don't get me wrong, sometimes taking a break is a good way to get out of a rut, and sometimes you need to take a step back like Harden and regroup. But sometimes maybe you just got to keep going. Sometimes you need to build up that invisible compound interest, right? And you're probably asking me, what the hell is compound interest? And before I get into what is compound interest, I just want to say, if you want to book a one-on-one coaching call, hit the link in the description down below, and we'll see if it makes sense to work together so that you can reach your fitness goals in 2025, and so you can reach your summer body, because summer is around the corner. So hit the link in the description. Little shameless plug for those of you guys that need it, because I know a lot of you guys need it, right? And don't forget to like so we boost us up to the algorithm, and subscribe if you haven't already. Back to scheduled programming. So what is compound interest? Invisible compound interest, right? So compound interest, for those of you guys who know, the more you put in, right, the more deposits you put in, right, it's gonna build interest. It builds interest over time. It builds, right? But invisible compound interest is when you're putting in your deposit, your daily deposits, right? But you can't see the interest that's being built, right? You're putting in these deposits daily, and you're in this rut. You feel like nothing's working, but it's because it's interest that you can't see. And then eventually, boom, you're gonna see that explosion where it's like, oh shit, you're just gonna finally see the fruits of your labor, right? For example, maybe it's you're cold calling every single day. You're trying to get those leads. You're trying to get those leads every day. You're reaching out to people day in, day out, right? That's invisible compound interest, right? You're probably not going to see anybody book consultations for days on end, right? Until boom, you're going to have 4 calls, 4 people reach out to you oh shit, because of that invisible compound interest, right? Maybe you're a student and you're studying, you feel like, you're studying and, it's just like, oh man, I'm just not understanding the material. I feel like I'm just not paying attention. I'm rereading the notes, but I just feel like it's not registering in my brain, right? You just feel like you're just, you feel like you're lazy. Then boom, time comes to test. Because you put in that work, put in those daily deposits of revision each day, when it comes to the test, you're like, oh, boom, 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 boom. You just know all the answers, right? Because you put in that invisible compound interest, right? The idea of visible compound interest is maybe the solution is, don't get me wrong, sometimes maybe the strategy you're using is not working, and maybe you got to regroup and then keep going, right? But sometimes, just sometimes, maybe you just got to keep going. Sometimes you just got to keep going, even if you don't see the fruits of your labor right now, even if you don't see the results of what you're trying to do. You just got to keep on going, because you're putting in those daily deposits, and you might not see it. It's invisible. They're like little bricks that you're laying. They're invisible, but you gotta understand that it's compounding, it's building up, it's accumulating till one day, it's just gonna pop, and then you're gonna be like, whoa, the fruits of my labor, you're just gonna see all these blessings just coming to you, right? Everything you've ever wanted is coming to you, right? But it all starts with invisible compound interest, right? If you feel like you're stagnant right now, if you feel like you're in a rut, you feel like nothing's working for you, you just gotta keep going. You gotta keep attacking. This is not the time to go back on defense. Right now, sometimes the best defense is offense. Shout out Cobra Kai, man. I missed that show. But sometimes the best offense is defense. Sorry. Sometimes the best defense is offense. Right now is not the time to go on the defense. You have to go offensive. You got to keep attacking, keep fighting, keep throwing whatever weapon you can at the problem, at that stagnicity. Is that stagnicity a word? I think stagnicity is a word, but you guys get the point. You got to keep throwing weapons at it, keep attacking, right? Keep building onto that invisible compound interest, because even though you can't see the daily deposits you're putting in, even though you can't see the interest being built up, eventually it has no point, it has no choice but to just burst. And then you're gonna finally see what the results that you were looking for. But it all starts with those daily deposits. It all starts with attacking each day, day in, day out. Keep attacking the issue, whatever it is, whether it's fitness, whether it's with your finances, maybe it's, you plateaued with you plateaued with the weight you're lifting, right? You just gotta keep going. Maybe you gotta slow the movement down a little bit more. Maybe you gotta go a little bit, maybe you gotta lower the intensity and raise the weight. Maybe, play around with the rep range, right? But don't stop, keep pushing forward, because it's that invisible compound interest is what's gonna catapult you to success, right? But that's all I really wanted to say for today. Make sure you hit that one-on-one coaching call if you're looking to get in great shape this year and get that summer body for 2025 summer. You already know what it is. You can't lack. And make sure you like, comment, subscribe, send this to someone who really needs to hear it. And remember, there's nothing aligning while playing small. Catch you guys next video. See ya.